Good day, everyone. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial about how to utilize one of my favorite presentation platforms, which is called Prezi. So I'm starting off in a Google search bar here, and I'm just going to type in Prezi. That's with a Z, P-R-E-Z-I. Should be the first tool that comes up. So selecting that first one, you should be brought to their home screen, and I'm going to log in, and you all are going to be able to log in the same way. You want to log in with Google using your student ID and information. I'm personally going to log in through my UCPS account, which is a little bit different than yours. And when we log in, it might ask you which of the plans you'd like to be on. If you click on individual and then the basic, right? It's a free account, so you don't have to pay for this service. This is free. Obviously, it will be a little bit limited in what you're able to do. But once you're in, you'll be able to see this sort of landing page. Now, there's a video here called Getting Started. I highly recommend watching that. I'm not going to show that for you in this video. You can either create from a template or you can start from scratch. You could also convert a PowerPoint. Let's say you created your PowerPoint and you wanted to convert it into a Prezi. Seems like double the work to me though, so I suggest starting from a template because then you don't have to do as much heavy lifting to get your presentation together. So it will give you, kind of like in Google Slides, you have options about what you want your Prezi to look like. And so you can just kind of choose your favorite one, and you can be as creative as you want to be with it. I personally am going to utilize this one to start us off here. So I'm going to use this template, and I'm going to take the title here as example. You could title it with your group members' names or Newton's laws, virtual presentation, dash your name. And now I'm going to have it available to anyone on the web or people that I share it with, right? If you want to do that, you have to have a paid service. So we're going to go ahead with anyone on the web. All right, so there is a brief video here that's going to talk about how Prezi works. This is the first time utilizing it. And so the way that it's going to work is it's breaking your content down into these smaller bubbles. So you have a larger map that then breaks down into smaller pieces. And you can click on that map to zoom into the certain areas. So in this particular project, you're asked to create certain elements or topics that must be included for Newton's first law, second law, third law, including examples. You also need to cover the biography of Newton, right? Who he was as a man and what was his scientific contributions. So here is sort of the Prezi map, right? And it's called This Is My Mind. I can click in there and then I can edit text from this template. So I'm going to call this Newton's Laws of Motion. Right? And so things like resizing, I can pick this up and move it around. I can take elements and delete them, right? So you can see that I just kind of changed some things here. It wants me to put my name here. So I'm going to put my name, which is Abby Weeks. Don't know me? Hello, I am a physics teacher at ACE, and I'm excited to help get you guys started here. So there's all these elements within your map. If you wanted to start off with a topic, right? So you can kind of click in there, you can see how it goes, how. And you can change that to Newton's first law, let's say. Expand it so it looks a little prettier. Move it around and center it. That is going to link to a slide, like in a PowerPoint slide or a Google slide. So as you click down here, right, you can kind of see where it's taking you to. So presenting ideas is going to zoom into that light bulb to watch it zoom in and out. So this light bulb is one of the elements, right? So if I want to change what's going on when I click on that light bulb, I go to the first slide, and that's going to allow me to then change. So let's say I want to present like who Newton was, right? And then you could add elements here if you're looking to add images and things like that. There are toolbars up here, right? So you can increase or decrease the size, you can change the font, you can change the type, you can undo anything that you did. If you wanted to put a video in, you could create a little video here. Let me see if I can figure out how to add images. Some of my tools are covered up. You can zoom out. What else can I do here? Look at the layout. That's not a feature that we have. Right, so I can change the layout of the image. Right, if I want to change kind of how it's done. If I want to change the shape, right now it's a square. Make it a circle. Make it an oval. Right, if you want to change that background shape, move that there. If you want to close out of that, you can use the X. Let me see what else we can insert. Right, you can insert a shape, an arrow. You can insert a PDF, an audio file, a chart, a YouTube video, an animation, an image. So if I had a picture of Newton that I wanted to insert, I would click on image. I could add from my library. I could search. I don't know if they're going to have a searchable Newton. Nope, that's part of the greater thing. So I would say adding from your library or uploading an image, right? And so I don't have a Newton image here, but let's say I wanted to upload me. That's me, right? That's how I would do that. So this is me. I'm Abby Weeks. I am Miss Weeks to my students at ACE. You can insert in an image there. If you wanted to get rid of it, you just delete it, all right? So if you want to insert something, use this insert button at the top. All right, if you want to present it eventually when you're done, okay, I'm going to go back to the whole thing. I haven't changed much here, but you would do that with each element that kind of highlights along the way. So this one, this bigger one, has lots of little parts. So you could choose to put as much in there. One thing I would say is try to use all the elements. So break up your information so that these are not just dead spaces. An issue I've seen with students in the past is that they'll create a Prezi, they'll put in two things, and then they'll leave the rest of this as the template, right? If this is where I'm headed, as I work through your presentation, if there's not something actually changed there, it looks very sloppy, right? So if you create a presentation and you just leave this random quote in it, it's not going to be very meaningful to the overall quality of your project. So make sure you either change and or delete elements if you're not going to utilize them so that your eventual project quality is really refined. You can either present, from here. So here I am going to view it as if I was receiving your project. And I clicked on Newton's first law, it would zoom in. I could go forward from there. It's going to take me to the next point on the slide. Talk to me about who Newton was. And you obviously would add more text or images, videos, things in there. Okay. If I want to cut out of this, so I'm going to go through the whole thing. You can see this is just the template. And then I can also slide over using the slide bar at the bottom. Okay. And if I want to escape out of it, I just pushed my escape key. Now, if I'm going to share this, right, I'm going to create either a link here, right? So I could view the link. And this is, I'm just going to say Abby Weeks physics teacher. Right, I'm going to create the link. And then you'll get a unique link that can then be submitted to your teacher through Google Classroom or whatever platform they ask you to submit your project through. Okay, so I could copy this and then paste it somewhere else so that my teacher will see it. Okay. All right, hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, please do reach out and I'll do my very best to help you, or your teacher will do their very best to help you navigate this particular presentation style.